Greetings in the name of Jesus Christ our King. I am Brother Marko from Countdown to Christ Ministries. If you just look around yourselves, you probably will realize that we are living in the end times, at the end of the age. In the Bible, the phrase end of the age refers to the end of the church age. It refers to the time just before Jesus comes to rapture the church, takes the believers in Jesus Christ or his bride out of this world. And after that, God is going to pour his wrath on this world. And there will be 7 years of severe persecution from the Antichrist as well. In that time, the world will be such a terrible and unbearable place that it will be heaven on earth. It will be hell on earth. But we know that Jesus will come and take his bride, his believers. He will redeem them from the wrath of God and from the wickedness of Antichrist just before that. That we call rapture. In the Bible, in Matthew chapter 24, the disciples came and asked Jesus, Lord, tell us, what will be the signs of the end of the age, end of the church age? How the world will look like just before the rapture? Then Jesus gave them a very detailed description of how the world will look like. He explained in Matthew chapter 24 from verse 4 onwards. First, he said there will be many false Jesuses and false prophets and false messiahs. They will come up and they will claim to be Jesus and they will deceive many. Well, we see them all around us today, such as Jehovah's Witnesses, such as Mormon Church, and in addition to that, many, the list is quite a long list actually, many of those who claim to be Jesus all over the world. Secondly, Jesus warned us about wars and rumors of wars. He said the nations and kingdoms will rise up against one another. Well, it's happening all over the world, isn't it? We keep hearing the rumors of wars every day. Thirdly, Jesus talked about famine and poverty, that this will increase all over the world. Well, it's happening. It's happening right in front of our eyes. Unemployment is increasing. Global economy is in great dire. More and more people all over the world are ending up on the streets homeless and in great poverty. Just as Jesus prophesied, it's happening today. And fourthly, Jesus told us about earthquakes and natural disasters. Today, again, like never before in the world history, today, all over the world, natural disasters and earthquakes are happening in greater frequency and greater intensity. Fifthly, Jesus told us that in the end of the church age, just before the rapture, Christians, those who believe in Jesus, will be hated by all nations. Now, hear me here. It said all the nations. I will read it. They will hand you over to be persecuted and they will kill you. You will be hated by all nations because of my name, said Jesus. It's happening today, friends. All over the world, Christian persecution is increasing rapidly. In fact, it's not only Christian people that the world hates and persecutes today. In fact, they hate the Bible like never before. All over the world, people who believe in Bible, who try to live biblical lives, who try to uphold and promote biblical values, are finding themselves attacked by the governments, attacked by their neighbors maybe, attacked by their people around themselves. They are dragged into courtrooms, they are locked up in the prisons. It's happening in an increasing intensity and frequency all over the world. And Jesus also warned us about apostasy. There will, in the end times, just before the rapture, many people will fall away. Now, apostasy is not that people will leave the churches. No, apostasy is people, and in fact even churches, they will leave the Bible, they will leave the biblical values, biblical principles and biblical truth. And it's happening all over the world, all around us again. Churches after churches, pastors and theologians one after another are embracing godless and in fact exactly the opposite of biblical values. They're embracing them and they're promoting them from the pulpits of churches. Churches after churches are turning against the Bible, turning against God. They are declaring Bible inaccurate, incorrect. And it's happening all over the world just as Jesus described. That is great apostasy, friends. And it is becoming more and more difficult for true believers in Jesus to find like-minded churches where they can join. And on top of that, in fact, in addition to, as a result of all of these, we see a global breakdown of law and order all over the world. All over the world, literally, lawlessness is in the increase. If you want to travel from one country to another, you will soon figure out that they will treat you like a potential terrorist, because the whole world is in a total breakdown of law and order, and every person is afraid of every other person. That's the world where we live. Now, all of these are clearly detailed as the signs of the end of the church age, as the signs how the world will look like just before the rapture. And these are the words of Jesus. So friends, it's day-bright clear that we are living in the end of the church age, and the rapture can happen literally any moment. Now, if that is the case, well, since that is the case, now my question to you is, how then are we supposed to live? How then are we supposed to position ourselves? If Jesus is, not if, since Jesus is just around the corner and he will come for rapture any moment, the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to receive Jesus? Are you ready to give your life to Jesus? My friends, if you're not ready for Jesus yet, this is the moment. Don't waste any more time. Rapture can happen any moment. Jesus can come any moment. Are you ready?
We are a non-profit and non-denominational Christian ministry. Please consider supporting us financially.